Hey everyone, today we're going to look at why it's important for us to carefully analyze where we invest our hard-earned money, our finite time, and our limited energy as we look at getting mentally, physically, spiritually, and in any of these subsets stronger than we are today. Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Sneha Gray. I'm an applied sociologist. I'm a counselor and an investigator. And for many years, I have looked at where people invest their time, their money, and their energy. And over the last 3 years, I've been deeply concerned about the amount of information overload there is just at the click of a button. And just in 2 minutes, we've got people that can be experts at things, very articulately promoting their services and their products. Now, I'm not here to blame them. They're obviously on YouTube or in other social media channels because they believe in some way, shape, or form about what the services or the products they offer. But I'm here to tell you, my listener, on how you can critically analyze what services and what products could work for you and what's just a passing fad. What do I mean by critically analyzing and investigating things? Now, if someone were to tell you, now imagine you're looking at getting a beauty therapy done. So let's stay away from mental health or severe physical health issues. Let's talk about something as simple as a beauty therapy. There's someone around the corner that is training or that's got no expertise, but they've got lived experience in, I don't know, pick something. Okay, doing waxing of the eyebrows for their family versus somebody that's charging for their services because they've invested time and energy and money in their business, studied for it, made sure they've looked at the risks their business presents and has got a mitigations and solutions for it. Whom would you choose? Or you want to get physically fit? Would you choose a personal trainer that's studied physiology and physical fitness and gives you a plan fit for you? Or would you just choose that your cousin who's super fit and you think he knows what he's doing? Now, please get this straight. I'm not against your cousin or your friend that does eyebrow waxing from home as an experience. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want sustained victory in your life and fulfillment, you need to find that person or that organization or those people that work for you, not just today, but also in the long term. Now, I'm not for a moment saying just because somebody charges a lot of money, they naturally become efficient. But here are things you can look at. Consider whether this person has got experience. And by experience, I don't mean just lived experience, but also education behind them and work experience behind them to provide whatever services they offer. And now, in terms of work experience or studies, you don't need to just follow a strict line. There are those, I agree, go to university that perhaps actually just breeze through it and don't even know how they got out. So you ask questions, ask them what they provide, where did they study? And if the study is outside the box, ask them questions about it. Let me give you an example from my life. I'm a sociologist. All my life, I started counseling when I was 16 under the supervision of others, of course, slowly but surely. And over the last 30 years, I've been studying human behavior. What makes human tick? what makes them fail, what makes them struggle, and what makes them succeed. Now, I've done psychology papers along the way and studied counseling along the way, but I didn't necessarily major in it. So why should you come to me? You shouldn't come to me just because I'm telling you. Then you look at my work experience and all the 10, 15 years of other experience that I've got that also integrated aspects of sociology, psychology, human behavior, and counseling, and supervision by people that knew, had experience in the field. And together, that's a whole package. And now at close to 50, I've also got lived experience. So you need a package to help you. And this is why I never started my own business for many years until I knew I knew I could provide something on my own 2 feet, and then also have the guidance systems around me to guide me where needed. Likewise with doctors, if you go to medical doctors, they don't just become a GP the first year out of medical school. They go into house surgery. They have so much supervision, and over time they accumulate the knowledge from a vast majority of people, and also evidence-based research that just purely lived experience cannot provide. Why am I telling you this about critical thinking and about the fact that lived experience, whilst great, in and of itself, it's not enough? You see, my lived experience would be different to yours, and different to hers, and different to his. And if we are purely going just from lived experience, our information would be biased. Now, as scientists or social scientists, we all have biases. That's for sure. But at least when we are able to understand an issue on the balance of things could be A or B, you're not going from the point of view of just one person. Now, let me give you an example. I go into various organizations and various geographical places to ascertain and analyze what's happening in that place. Now, in the recent past, I was I did a project, and there were some people that I encountered that were horrid. They had a very skewed perspective on life. They were there just for themselves and those that worshipped them at the expense of good people. But you see, from that, so that's my experience. So now if I come away from that experience and then encounter you, and if you happen to be, I'm not going to give you whether it's gender or race or um, orientation, whether you happen to be in that bracket those people came from, I look at you and I assume you must be a horrid person that's just looking out for yourself based on my horrid experience of this particular group. I would be biased because I'm basing the entirety of human civilization and the entirety of human experience based on just my experience. And, because that information would be so untrue. And then if I share that with you, don't hang out with such and such race or such and such gender or such and such people that live in this place. I am then promoting a myth, promoting a bias, which actually is the root cause of a lot of bias in the world today. And this is why lived experience, whilst great in and of itself, that is not enough. So you need lived experience, because the counseling I gave when I was 16 would be totally different than the counseling I give now at close to 50. But I also have the educational experience, the work experience, and other experience, the micro credentials to back me up. So this year, coming back to our main point, when you invest your hard-earned money, look at whether it's counseling or a medical doctor, you are physically unwell, or whether it's your beautician or your personal trainer or anything else, or your financial advisor, be very careful whom you invest in. Now, the second point is, just because someone is very well trained and have got all these experience, that in and of itself is also not enough. You may not gel well with them, you may not click with them. And that's why you need to think outside the box and think, okay, this person's got this whole package, but do I also click with them? And will this person or this organization be able to take me on this journey of fulfillment that I deserve? What, at the start of this talk, I presented to you why I feared that everybody is an expert now at the click of a YouTube button presenting their facts. I'm increasingly getting concerned about the amount of hatred there is towards scientific fact. And somehow, I don't understand why, somehow science has gotten caught in this mix of race bashing. Somehow science has become this Western thing, and that it's science is racially abusing other Eastern philosophies. I'm offended by that, because by the looks of me, as you can tell, I'm a blend of everything. But I was born in Asia, and I get really offended when people think that evidence-based science is boxed into this Western science, and everything else that's not evidence-based is something else. And that's coming from us. That is not true at all. I know so many Asian scientists that have made such a lot of difference to what I would call contemporary medicine. Contemporary medicine has saved our lives. It has extended our, not just our lifespan, but also our health span. So we can be useful for longer. So don't ever buy into that myth that contemporary medicine somehow needs to be put into this Western myth that we don't need. We do need it. And then we need to move forward from it and to make it less clinical and more human. How do we do that? We do that by integrating the delivery of us. Oh, apologies to those that are listening. We do that through we do that through integrating our service delivery into our model of care and making service delivery custom made for each client or each set of clients. But the actual scientific facts does not change. I'm really fearful that science getting caught in this racial this polarization that's happening now would be to the detriment of all of us people that are stuck in the middle. So use elements from every science, whether it's contemporary science, historic science, or traditional science, and weigh it up with critical thinking. Now, if somebody, and why am I saying this to you? So just the other day, someone said to me, they rang me and they said, look, I think I really need counseling. And I said, okay, what can we do to help you? Oh, but I can't invest money this month because I've already spent that on a fortune teller. So can you tell me where I can go? Now, if you're a fortune teller listening to this, please don't get me wrong. I'm not against you. Obviously, that's your business. And if it works, that's fine. And for clients that go and listen to all of for your fortunes being told, if that works for you and gives you temporary short-term relief, I am not here to mock you. But if your money is limited, you must really prioritize where you want to invest that money in. And I've known people that have not gone to their medical doctor because where I live in my country, it's mostly funded. There's a nominal charge, which I think is very reasonable. And somebody didn't go to their GP because they thought it was unfair that the GP was charging $20, but they actually spent more money on I think tea leaf reading. Mm. And I'm a person that for close to 50 years has been really polite. I didn't want to offend many people. And, I just, yeah, but now, to be honest, I do care about those people doing that business, but I care more about making sure you get your facts right. You make sure you get your information right. Make sure you prioritize where you spend your money because it is your well-being. Facebook and YouTube and all those other social media channels are dangerous sometimes. They just pop up all these miracle drugs, and I get spam. Would you like to have 10,000 followers and 10,000 clients in 1 month? Follow me and I will show you the way. And I always kindly say thanks, but no thanks, because I don't want 10,000 clients, and not in that way. I want to make a meaningful long-term difference through the evidence that I've learned, through my life experience, through the intuition that I have, put it all in a package and provide the service in a culturally um, appropriate way, whether the culture is based on race or gender or whatever is appropriate to you. I want to serve you in that way. And I know that having 10,000 followers pop down from the sky is not going to be of any use for me. So I'd be really careful where you get your information from and critically analyze it. I've done another video on how you can critically analyze things. Click on it, and that gives you a step-by-step analysis of how you can do that, and listen to it, because there's only finite time. Even if you're a billionaire, remember, there's only finite time. You can't change time. So where are you going to invest your efforts and your energy? Is it going to be in a new fad that's going to not last, or at worst be detrimental to your well-being? Or are you going to be really wise in where you invest your time, money, and energy? And I am not afraid to say and stand up and say, we need to follow evidence-based science and social science, and also be able to think outside the square. But as we think outside the square and go around it, we need to be critically analyzing where our biases lie and why we're doing what we're doing. You know, the potential costs of uncritical thinking is is vast. You will, it's impossible to ascertain, how many life's decision is ruined because of unscientific evidence, told to us by astrologers and fortune tellers. And and how much money have you wasted on and the latest fad, the latest makeup that doesn't work, the latest wonder drug that's going to make you slim as you sit and eat a whole bag of chippies in front of the TV. Solutions are evidence-based. Solutions also need to be able to intuitive, think outside the square. And I find that solutions are normally simple. If somebody's speaking to you lots of complicated words you don't understand, then you need to rethink again what exactly it is they're saying and spend a lot of time critically analyzing whether that's indeed true. So this is Dr. Jessica, taking a slightly harsher tone, I'm afraid, to non-critical, uncritical thinking, because astrology, as you know, can only make an ASS out of all of us. So choose well, my friends, what information you listen to, whether it's spiritual, physical, emotional, psychological, for your beauty, for your health, for your fitness, for your financial well-being. Seek evidence-based advice. Invest in that right advice. Stick to it. And at each step, don't just take what I'm saying for granted. Critically analyze it. I'm happy for you to question anything I've said if you don't think that's makes sense. Until next time, this is Dr. Jessica wishing you the very best of success as you critically analyze and find true fulfillment in your life.